Storm Tracker 12 weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman.
Happy Friday. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. It's still going to be pretty hot out there today. Also tracking areas of smoke and haze. We will be keeping an eye on some thunderstorm potential, not only this afternoon, but also again on Saturday for parts of the region. But then we trend towards cooler and wetter conditions next week. Some good news and hopefully starting to put out some of these fires burning in and around the region. Today, though, temperatures climbing well up into the 90s in our west side valleys, up to 87 in Klamath Falls, 86 in Lakeview. We'll see cool conditions along the coast with marine clouds and fog and even some drizzle and light shower activity. There is a red flag warning for today, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. on your Friday, along and east of the Cascades in southern Oregon. This is where we're going to have the best potential for some thunderstorms popping up later today. And with abundant lightning, we will be concerned about numerous new fire starts, at least the potential for that. The Friday Night Blitz game of the week takes us to Spiegelberg Stadium later today. 88 degrees at kickoff. More than likely going to see fairly quiet conditions. The thunderstorm threat looks to stay further to the east and north, but it will be very warm and hazy as the Panthers take on the Wolverines. The Rogue Valley over the next few days. There is the potential for some thunderstorms, though, on Saturday afternoon into the early evening hours. Sunday is looking dry. Notice the cooling trend. Highs in the mid-80s on Sunday. Heading up to Crater Lake. Ride the Rim going on this weekend. There is the potential for a thunderstorm on Saturday. Notice the cooling trend up to about 58 for a high on Sunday. And then in the basin, also seeing those temperatures sliding this weekend, looking mainly dry Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the middle 70s on Sunday, but it's going to be even cooler as we step into the next work and school week. Here's a look at those thunderstorms popping up on the east side, up around Crater Lake, northern Klamath, and then through Lake counties where our best opportunities for thunderstorms will be later today. As we head on into Saturday, though, in the afternoon, we're going to be watching along the Cascades and then from Jackson County down into portions of Siskiyou County for some isolated to spotty thunderstorms. Nothing too terribly widespread. But then here comes the big storm system that's going to bring much more widespread precipitation to the region next week. And some beneficial rainfall looks to be a pretty good bet. We'll be watching that forecast very closely. Look at this cool down. Highs in the 70s in the Rogue Valley next week. Your 7-day forecast for the coast. Rain arrives to the coast on Monday. It could be a fairly soggy day for coastal communities. Northern California cooling things off next week. Showers and some thunderstorms will be likely for much of next week. The basin, a taste of fall next week with those highs in the 60s. Up in the mountains, also tracking thunderstorm potential and more wet weather, especially in the next week. But there will be at least some slight chances for showers and storms over the next few days. And then for the Rogue Valley, still pretty hot as we wrap up this week. But again, big changes on the way for next week. Slight chance of a thunderstorm on Saturday. Better odds at wet weather next week. But temperatures will be much cooler with highs in the 70s and lows down into the 50s.